this afternoon in Tucson for 9-year-old Christina Taylor Green. She is the youngest victim of Saturday's senseless violence. The Westboro Baptist Church, an organization many call a hate group, had planned to picket outside. That was the plan, and it angered a lot of people. They say Christina's murder and the rest of the tragedy in Tucson is God's retribution on a country that they say has embraced homosexuality. The church is not going to protest today because of the man that we have sitting next to us. Steve Sanchez, hosts a radio show on 1010 AM KFNX. He agreed to interview the members of the church in exchange for them not protesting today. Thank you for being here.
Absolutely.
Controversy surrounding this and controversy surrounding your decision. Tell us what you plan to do, how this all worked out.
Well, you know, I was in show prep actually for the production of the show Saturday, and I've had Shirley Phelps Roper on the show before. And I saw some of the statements that she was making about the little girl particularly, and it really bugged me. So I had Lisa Tucker, my assistant, call and basically barter, for lack of a better word, and said, look, if you're willing to stop all protesting of all funerals, I'll give you 30 minutes in terms of an interview on the show Saturday. And she basically came back and said, nope, we're not going to do that. We'll do one funeral, and that's all we'll do. And of course, my heart went out to the little girl. Not that no one else was not important, but the little girl, 9 years old.
Yeah.
Can we imagine? I've got 2 daughters. Yeah. And she agreed, and now, needless to say, she's coming on Saturday, and we just have to go with it.
So then are they still planning on protesting the judge's funeral on Friday then?
My understanding is not. I think Mike Gallagher stepped in, nationally syndicated radio host Mike Gallagher, and offered the same type of situation. And my understanding is that they are not going to protest any funerals, but I haven't had confirmation yet.
And it's kind of a sticky situation because what you're doing is getting them to not protest these funerals, but in the meantime, you're still giving them a voice.
Right.
And so how do you feel about that? And are you getting any feedback from others saying you shouldn't be doing this? You
know, I've literally had hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of emails and phone calls. So has the radio station. 90% positive, 10% negative. Of course, there's going to be negative. Anytime you're in leadership, anytime you make a decision, there's going to be people that don't like it, good, bad, or indifferent. I stand by my decision. I believe that giving them that 30 minutes is much better than them being at that funeral picketing. In fact, Shirley Phelps Roper said the law that Governor Brewer signed meant nothing to them. She is an attorney. Most people don't know that.
Yeah.
And she said it means nothing to them, and they were still planning to be there.
And Steve, you and I were talking just briefly before Now at 9 started, and I said to you, is this you guys taking a bullet, in a sense, so to speak, in a sense, for the community of Tucson? And that's sort of what it is.
You know, it really is. I am a Christian. My show's not a Christian show. However, there's a lot of Christian values in my show, and I believe that we are in the mountain of media, and I believe that we can use our affluence and influence to lend to victims, to tragedies, and the bottom line that we cannot lose sight of is they're not going to picket the funeral today, and that little girl and the family will have peace.
Right. So that is how you weigh that. You're keeping them away from these families. Again, on the other hand, some people are pretty upset saying, okay, we're giving this group of people exactly what they want.
Sure.
This was their goal, and they're winning.
Well, there's going to be opinion, good, bad, or indifferent. The way I look at it, again, it's a ministry opportunity for me as well. We've got to look back in history. At one time in this country, there was slavery, but someone stood up and made a difference and took a stand, even though there was flack about it, and men's hearts changed. Now today, we have the first African-American president in this country. We are not the same today as we were yesterday. And if I can sow a seed into this woman, maybe she might not change her mind. More than likely not. She will not. But how about her generations to come? How about if a seed is sown and something in her lineage down the road looks at this and says, that's not who we're about, that's not what we need to be about?
Well, let's talk about this seed. I mean, you have an opportunity to talk with this woman. What do you want to say to her? What will you say to her? What kind of questions do you have?
Well, I had her on the show in October. We lasted 9 minutes. She hung up on me because I'm a student of the Scriptures, and I understand the Scriptures, and I know fact versus fallacy. And I'm going to lead her down a road as to why. What's the thinking? What's the purpose? What good has come out? I've got a few questions. I've done my homework. My team has done some homework, and she may be surprised on some of the questions I have that are going to put her on the defensive. Most people are saying you're just giving her a platform, and I understand that. I'm a grown man, and if I have to sacrifice 30 minutes for that family not to have to worry about them being there, which they would have been there, then that's what I'm going to have to do. But I think there's going to be civil discord. She has agreed to follow ground rules, FCC regs, and if she doesn't, the great thing is I can hang up on her.
Steve Sanchez.
All right, Steve, thank you so much.
Yeah, we really appreciate it, and I can imagine some people are going to be listening to the show on Saturday. Some people might not want to listen at all, which, I mean, you understand that.
Again, what is that, the radio station again? So if people do want to listen to you and your discourse with this woman?
It's 1010 AM KXXT, and I understand there's going to be people upset. But the great news is they can flip the channel, and I know I'm doing what's right and what God has called me to do.
We appreciate you talking with us today. Susan is out in Tucson, and Susan, I have to imagine there's a lot of